What's going on, guys? Behind me is one of my favorite cars, and I know it's one of your favorite cars in my collection as well. And for many reasons, for a variety of reasons, it's been a very long-term project for me. Really, for about 3 years now, the car's been kind of down, and I'm okay with that. But before we go, you guys only have like 2 weeks left to win the bagged BRZ, the 2022 BRZ. So if you guys want a brand new car with a warranty still, free oil changes, reliable, that has super clean air suspension, 3-piece wheels, a nice exhaust that's gonna be a perfect daily for you, you guys can go to 53supply.com, and every $5 you spend gets you one chance to win the car. We also include New York and Florida and most of Canada. I can't remember what part of Canada it is, but it's y'all's loss. It's not my fault. That, and then today's video is brought to you by Bosley, and we'll talk to you about them here in a second. This is my R33 Skyline, guys. This was this car is near and dear to my heart because it was the first car I ever imported from Japan. I bought this car in Japan, had it shipped over. I even cut the thing on the trailer, and I helped unpack the car. So it was a big moment for me. When I got the car, it was fine, but it was just a Skyline. Stock RB25s are super boring. Stock 4-doors are kind of boring. And I wanted to fit some cool wheels. And so my vision for this car was to make a car that was comparable to a GTR, but rear-wheel drive and 4-door. Because I think 4-doors are cool. Sedans, saloons are gangster. This car also only has like 30,000 original miles on it, so it's okay that I don't drive it. It's just going up in value every day. But I started filming this video in particular a little over 2 months ago. I decided I wanted to narrate this video just because like there was just 2 months worth of content, and I have, I think, 28 gigabytes worth of footage now. So without wasting any more time, I'm gonna give you guys a long story short here. A year and a half ago, practicing the gender reveal, Gabriella's gender reveal I was gonna do in this car, but I ended up using the Supra. When I was doing the practice burnout, I absolutely roasted the clutch and flywheel. Like, it was unusable, car wouldn't go into gear anymore. At the time, not only did it have a couple issues I needed to fix, but the car was very underbuilt for the setup that I had on. So like, I knew I needed a better clutch. I knew he didn't crash, so good for him. For various reasons, I wanted to put the car down for a little while and just do a complete overhaul. During this time, we have respec'd the wheels. We have completely fully built the engine. We've added air suspension, which I like because the front lip on this car is incredibly expensive, and it's like all the body kit's very rare, and I just wanted to be able to air up whenever I wanted to. 2 months ago, Kevin came by. I made a video of putting the RB25 in, and the idea was to get the car running that week. But because Skyline, let's get on with the beginning of this video, and then I'll recap in the middle. Okay, guys, we are back to doing some Skyline things. Brewski, what do we got going on right now? If you want to give me a little update on everything that's happened and what we've done.
Yeah, so we've got the motor back in the R33, and I'm just actually going through putting on all of the accessories and ancillary items. So intake manifold, header, turbo, that kind of stuff.
Obviously the motor's in. We actually took it back out, and poor Drew had to take out some exhaust manifold studs. He did that, and it's back in, so we have all exhaust manifold studs in. Basically just reusing everything that we had before. I think we're gonna go ahead and keep the clutch fan. It's kind of hard to beat a clutch fan. I know people love to do electric fans because they look cleaner. Clutch fans are pretty ugly, but I'd rather my car look ugly and not overheat. We're just dialing in everything right now. These are the same injectors. I mean, it's the same turbo, same intake manifold, same basically everything. The main thing as well is you can notice this little bracket that I got right here. This is an LS, uses truck coils, but it's a LS coil pack conversion. We're basically just gonna be buttoning everything up and maybe possibly getting it started really soon. I actually can't find my AC bracket, so I might have to order one of those. This car's been down for such a long time. In fact, a year ago today exactly, I took this engine out, took the trans off, took the engine out myself, and so now it's back in, and it's kind of cool. Today we've got, Drew and I got the intake manifold, fuel stuff on, most of the harness is plugged back in. One of the main issues that put this car down actually was my intake manifold gasket was bad. And so basically half disassembling this entire car, that's why I wanted to go ahead and just take everything out, get everything repainted and stuff. We got the turbo on, oil lines done. You can now see that the wastegate is in there. By the end of this video, it's gonna be at least cranking, hopefully maybe running, but it's got some really old fuel in it. Before we move on with the video, I've got to give a big thank you to this month's biggest sponsor and supporter of the channel, and that's Bosley. Now, I know everybody's situation is very unique, I get that. Some people don't have hair loss that runs in the family, and some do. Some of you might be experiencing it right now, and some you might feel that it's too late, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. Bosley is America's #1 hair restoration experts. For over 45 years, they've done these sorts of procedures and helped people. Over 430,000 procedures they have done, which is pretty amazing. It might be a sensitive topic for you, and I'm here to just tell you that Bosley has a lot of information for you guys at no expense to you. If you are at all interested, let's say that it runs in your family and you're getting to my age, you're 25, 30, 35 years old, and you think you might start losing hair soon, if I can tell you anything, if there's anything that I've learned, the way to combat something like this is to act before it starts, but it's not too late if it already has started. Bosley has a free information kit, which is in the link that I have for you in the description, but they also offer free in-person and video consultations, meaning if you want to talk to somebody in private about this and just get a good sense of what's going on and what your options are, they offer that for you. They have over 70 locations across the US, which is super helpful. But again, like I said, if you want to do a video consultation online, they can do that as well. If this is something that concerns you or you think you might need to deal with it here in the future, Bosley offers surgical and non-surgical solutions that they can also deliver straight to your door. And the sooner you take action, the more options you are going to have. So do me a favor, go to bosley.com/shanks. They will have tons of information for you there, but if you do use my link, you can get a $250 gift certificate towards whatever the procedure. Get a fuller, thicker head of hair, or keep your hair on your head. I know they've helped so many people and even some of you. So thank you guys for clicking that link, and thanks to Bosley for sponsoring. Let's move on to the video. Oh yeah, baby. GM coil on plugs. So GM coils are very strong. They have a built-in igniter in them for this specific thing. So if you guys have a Skyline, take this little bracket off. Try not to damage anything. It should just come off. Take your old coil packs off the boot. Take out your old spring, stretch it, put it on the new coil, twist it, and it goes into its home. And there you go. You got a brand new LS coil pack. Put your old boot back on it so it can fit on your Skyline spark plugs. Gotta use a little bit of lube here. And you're good. Just do that 6 times and it's over.
Tomorrow.
Are you actually thinking it might crank?
I think it might crank.
Okay.
Solid.
It's so exciting. Have we tested coil pattern outputs mixture?
To actually do that in Haltech.
Oh, okay. Well, if it goes pop, pop, bang, and doesn't start, then it's probably that. Last time I was in this car, we absolutely obliterated the clutch. Oh, oops. Wait, what? No ignition at all. Yeah, it doesn't even try to crank. Cool. At this point in the video, we had some oddities, I guess. Drew didn't know why it wasn't even cranking over. We thought that it was a starter, a bad starter. We ended up taking a few days to find the right starter, and if you guys need to know, RB20 and RB25s, and I think 26s use a 1965 Datsun something. Can't remember what it was, but you used that starter, and it still didn't work. Then Drew realized like a week later, he's like, oh, I forgot to put a ground to the engine, to the chassis. After that, we did the LS coil pack conversion, and let's go ahead and let's do this real quick. So we had a couple issues, really just one issue, I guess. The starter, it wouldn't crank, obviously. We changed the starter, still wouldn't crank. Then we added a fantastically large ground to the engine, and that seemed to have worked. So I haven't started the actual car yet, so let's see if she cranks, baby. It's cranking.
It is cranking. Go ahead and try it again.
Yep.
I'm not seeing the fuel pressure. We definitely had it at one point.
A possibility is we did use this ECU to try and get the R32 running, and he might have turned cranking fuel off. I totally forgot that I had a DVD player in this car. I can just watch some Tokyo Drift. Oh no! Why did I stop? Starter fluid smell good. Okay, so we got the original tune file from Ethan. How like he said it was way different. Like,
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
okay, cool. Well, let's hope for some good things now. That would be lighting up as soon as that injector gets any sort of signal from the ECU or any sort of power. And we did test that the light works. It's very bright, so you would have been able to see it. So we're not getting fuel. Wow. So all 6 work.
Yep, all 6 work. I've got voltage at the injector. I'm trying to figure out why the injector or the ECU's actually not switching from power to ground.
Temporary fix. I'm really hoping, praying that this works. For some reason, my cast sensor, it was working when it was uninstalled from my car, and they're very, very sensitive. I'll be able to tell in about 15 seconds whether this works or not, because I'm going to twist it counterclockwise, looking at it this way, and I should be able to hear the injectors go off. Plug this in. Please God. Okay, so if I click this way. Dude, what are you doing? So a little bit of digging through forums, and I guess maybe I should have checked this earlier. Could be the CAS, and Jimmy knows a lot about these. So, and I was like, okay, so we have the same issue with my R32. So new CAS, we're still getting ignition, but we're not getting fuel. We did check that the injectors are all getting all the voltage they need, every single one. They can light off, but they're not used to, so whenever you actually run the car, they should go into ground mode, but they're not doing that. After reading a few forums, if you are getting ignition, it is not your CAS. It might be a Haltech problem, so we're gonna do a little bit more research. I might even call them, but it could be ECU. The injectors weren't so different, and it wasn't a different intake manifold and all this kind of stuff, and a bunch of different things. Maybe could try plugging the stock ECU in and confirming that it's the Haltech's issue, but I don't know. This is just RB things, though, boys and girls. Just to preface more information here, there's so many things I could say this video, like this could be an hour-long video. To be real, it could be literally an hour-long video, and I could talk about this for forever, but we got so much experienced and knowledgeable help on this car that like so many people just did not know what was happening. We called some very reputable GTR Skyline people from all over the planet. We contacted Haltech, which that was the worst customer experience I've ever had in my life. I'm not talking crap about them, this is not slander, but worst tech support I've ever had in my life. Probably some of the rudest people I've ever talked to. I say that because like, if I was trying to tell you that it was okay and you guys get the same treatment that I got, then that would make me look bad. Just being honest here. So we talked to them, zero help at all, actually. Ethan, my tuner, came over. He had some really good ideas, but he didn't have time to execute on those ideas. And then we also, Kevin, Trevor, Stuart Lease, all the people that do exclusively Skylines didn't know what was happening. Drew kind of gave up on the car because I don't blame him, like whatever. I feel that. Ethan came over at one point in time and started poking, prodding around. The issue was we were not getting fuel pulse, but we were getting ignition. So you could spray starter fluid in the car and it was igniting, the car would start, but it wouldn't run because we weren't getting fuel pulse. Ethan figured out that it's probably something in the harness. Like there's something that's either not plugged in, something Drew might have skipped over, or just something we're missing and not seeing. And if you guys have never seen an engine bay of an RB20 or a Skyline engine bay with no engine in it, but the harness is still there, it is literally the most plugs I've ever seen in my life. Like there are literally hundreds, I feel like, of plugs in a Skylines engine bay, and that is where Nissan goofed. Although, albeit the computing power of what these guys were doing in the 90s was insane, and they had good reason for it, I guess. Anyways, Ethan deduced that it was probably something in the harness, and I told Kevin that. Kevin is one of my really good friends. He actually just moved here. He's almost full-time here, but he's the guy who built the engine. He saved the R32 last year when we were doing the giveaway. So he's very, very knowledgeable, and even he didn't know what was going on. And all he does is Skyline, Skyline, Skyline. Anyways, as much help as we could get and as many resources as I could reach out to, nobody knew what was happening. Even shops that do this for a living. I'm sure Ethan would have figured it out if he had the time, but he has too many tunes to do, so he didn't make it out. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to when Kevin showed up and helped us out. Loud boys. Yep. I think we're good. All right, so that's plugged in. It should run.
It should. Yeah, I mean, it should start. It wants to.
It wants to. It starts right now, I'm gonna cry. Definitely wants to idle. Trying to. All right, guys. I think it's finally time. All right, let's try her again. Come on. Sure. Let's go, dude. No way. Something's splashing over there. I don't have any coolant going to the turbo.
I don't know if it's splashing. It feels like it's coming up.
It was splashing.
There's some coming from like right. I don't know if
No, it's water.
Is it?
Oh. No, it's definitely water. Is this? Oh, there's water right there. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
It might just be water from...
like carbon buildup coming out of the exhaust.
So, it was literally, guys, Kevin was looking up a wiring diagram, and it was, no kidding, this... It's a ground for a body harness, you say?
Yeah, for the injector pulse ground.
You gotta be freaking kidding me. Okay, I just want to make a point. So this is how complicated Skylines are, though. Like, we're not dumb, and I've looked up so many different forums, and like, this issue was never stated anywhere online, and nobody for one time said anything about an injector pulse
I don't know, I'm pretty
ground.
Dumb. I'm pretty dumb.
It's okay. It depends on the day of the week. I'm just saying, like, if Drew went through this 500 times and I couldn't find anything online, Ethan checked it, Kevin checked it, who is arguably way better at RB things than anybody else that I know. Wow, it was literally the ground. So I guess I kind of just want to let it idle for a little bit, break the engine in, and
yeah, just make sure you don't got any coolant, oil leaks.
Yep, let's turn her back on. No leaks? Nice. Damn. She's built. We've got, oh my God, dude. The turbo's a spinning. She's a spinning. Oh, it's exciting. Yay! Now let's rev her to 12,000 RPMs. A year and a half later. I had custom interior made for this thing and everything, and I had just been waiting on it. And now we're good. No leaks at all. Oh, I think we actually have a working coolant temp gauge now. Oil pressure is amazing. Almost 5 bars of oil pressure right now. That's fabulous.
Feels good up top, dude. Feel like there's like no blowback coming out of that motor.
Nice. I like it. Oh, that's amazing, guys. At full warm idle, it has 4 bars of oil pressure, which is great for a Nissan. It requires at least double the oil pressure that normal cars would. Yep, it sounds really good. Like, for just like, yeah.
Solid,
like,
dude.
this is the first time it's been started since the build, and it just like purrs, dude. I would say you did a good job, my dude. All right, well, now I just got to, we got obviously all new components in this car. I have 0 clutch right now, so I'm gonna have to bleed that. And I don't know what's burning. Maybe we got some oil, something in here. But now we just gotta break the car in and rake the engine in, drive it around a little bit, finish up some of the interior stuff, and get this thing tuned. I'm really hoping for high 6s, maybe low 7s for power, and yeah, this car's gonna be rowdy. So, here's what's insane here. After all the stuff I just told you, all the help we got, and literally nobody knew. It was dumb. It seems dumb, right? But it was a ground that was part of the body harness that was like tucked way in the car somewhere. It's something that Drew just overlooked or just didn't know, because not many people know. And here's kind of the thing here. The only way Kevin figured this out was he downloaded a wiring diagram in Japanese and then had to translate that diagram to English to find out that, hey, there's a ground somewhere, or there's a body harness, it's not even a ground, it's a body harness that ends up grounding back to the car. But like, when you think body harness, like my Lexus works without the body harness being plugged in, because the 2JZ is just fantastic, and it doesn't rely on some stupidness to start having magic happen. It was literally that plug. There's multiple plugs that look like that, and so if you don't actually have an English translation, or you just continuity test every single thing on the car, which who has the time for that? Thanks to Kevin, huge thanks to Kevin, and I know Ethan deserves a thank you as well, because like he definitely was just like, it's part of the harness, it's a ground most likely. It just shows you that like no matter what you think you know about cars, no matter how long you've worked on them, especially with Nissans, there's always something you can keep learning. There's always a new thing that you don't know. When it comes to Skylines, I'm sure that forevermore I will always be stumped on something random and dumb about them. But I feel like I'm getting a very good grip on most of the things Nissan related now. And I say that, I probably just shot myself in the foot. So it runs. I ended up bleeding the master and slave cylinders. Goes into gear. I can drive it in and out of the garage, but what I do need is Drew to come back and finish up a lot of wiring. He's also supposed to make me an exhaust, but I can use the exhaust that I had before, even though it's really obnoxious. I can put the belts on and stuff like that, but he needs to actually fabricate a lot of like cases. He's gonna do a catch can and overflow and stuff like that for me. So I'm gonna try and get this wrapped up, but Drew is, I mean, he has a very busy schedule, and he's been helping me as much as he can lately. There you go. The entire time it was something as small as a body harness that was hiding under the exhaust manifold or somewhere. I don't even know where Kevin found it, but he was like, yeah, it was tucked. It was hiding. Whoever designed these cars wanted us to suffer, but at least when they run, they are great. So, you guys know that every video I make, I give you guys daily advice because I do my best. Excuse me. To positively impact you guys in your lives, because I care about you. I genuinely do. And today what I want to tell you guys is kind of two things, two ways to look at this. I'm just gonna read off my own Twitter because it's easier for me. A lot of people will keep you in their circle when you're doing worse than they are, but they will drop you as soon as you do well for yourself. I have literally seen and felt this personally, and it is one of the most true things I could ever tell you guys. You know, the reason why a lot of people that you guys watch growing up, whether celebrities, YouTubers, like these people have a posse, right? All the people in like the main person's posse are doing worse than they are, but however they're helping them. But if some person in that group starts doing as good as or better than the main guy, you always see drama start. And that's because like us as humans, we have this desire to be we all want to be leaders. We always want to be the best. And some of us just can't control that part of us. Unfortunately, that's what makes people famous, to be frank with you guys. I'm giving you guys a big scenario so you guys can even evaluate your own lives. Guys, you're gonna have friends that, to be honest, they don't want you to do well. They don't want you to do well. And I will also say this, this actually kind of triggered some people, but if you envy someone else for making money, like envy, look up the word envy. If you envy someone else for making good money, you are not their friend. And likewise, if one of your group, friend people, envies you for you making moves and you doing your thing and you doing well for yourself, look up envy if you don't know what envy is. If they're envying you, then they're not your friend. Because listen, I want the people in my circle to thrive, okay? And that's honestly probably why you don't see people always around me, because I would rather them be working on themselves and making their own money. That's why I wanted Drew to get his own job. I wanted Drew to go off and get a job that he wanted back in corporate, because I want to see him thrive. It's the reason why Ethan's not here every day, because I want to see him thrive doing tunes and stuff every day. I mean, I'm not casting any shade, okay? But I'm just saying, going back to the original point, you're gonna have people in your life. You will inevitably meet these people that you think they want the best for you, but they just want you in their posse. They want you in their circle until you do well for yourself. I'm not telling you this to say it might happen. I'm telling you because it will. And I want you to be prepared for that. And don't let it be a heartbreak, because it's just part of life, and people just have the desire to not want others to do as well as they do for themselves. So, also, any other advice? Get rid of that mindset for yourself if you get envious or jealous in a really bad way of your good friends. So anyways, that's my advice. That was a little longer than I thought, but R33, she run, she rev, she good. It's fully built and it's about to rev to the moon, baby. You guys have an amazing day, and make sure you subscribe. Turn those notifications on, baby, because YouTube is weird. Peace. Hey, you guys got 2 videos to watch in front of you. I know I say it all the time, but it does help me a ton if you continue watching those videos. Also, you know what helps me a ton? You guys have a freaking great day. And also go to 533spot.com. Free plug, hashtag.